Okay, so I just finished in the gym and I remembered that there was this awesome lookout spot just 2 minutes away. So today's video is going to be here, maybe some future videos as well. But if my shoulder gets a bit tired, you're going to have to forgive me because I've been in the gym and shoulders got hammered today. So what do I want to talk about today? Okay, so to start off, I need to confess something. Like, I'm a total nerd. I've always been into sci-fi. I was massively into Skyrim when I was growing up. If any of you know the game Skyrim, video games, I was obsessed with the ones where you could like create a character and basically roam around in this universe, in this world, and that just amazed me. And I guess really what it's about is stories, right? Like, I love stories. That's why I loved these particular games. Don't get me wrong, there was games, there's noisy bikes as well that are going to drive past. There was games that were like story mode games, which were great, but I like the ones where you could roam around and sort of like develop your character as you go. And yeah, I've just always loved stories. And when I trace it back to my childhood, or even earlier, you know, my mum used to read me Harry Potter before bed. My dad would read me and my brother the Bible. So for as long as I can remember, I've been introduced to stories, and I've been, I guess, inundated with it since I was very, very young. And then came film. So my family are massive film buffs. I think any suburban middle class family is massively into films. But imagine this, right? So I was 12 years old and my dad put on Saving Private Ryan, and it was just the first 20 minutes of the film. There's no dialogue. It's just the Normandy landing, when they landed on the beach of Normandy. And it's these young men on this boat. They know most of them are going towards their death. They're being sick off the side of the boat, off the side of the U-boat. And you hear like bullets like ting, 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 hitting the metal boat on the outside. And you just know there's going to be death on the other side. And it's such a harrowing, haunting, traumatic, I was traumatized, traumatic scene. But it was absolutely stunning. I was just hooked from the moment. I felt like this knot in my stomach, like I was going to be sick, and I just loved it. And then I got a bit older, got introduced to films like Dune. Oh my God! When Dune came out, the Dune films, Dune 1 is my favorite. That was instantly my favorite film. And as I started, going through all these films and realizing that these are my favorite films, I started to realize a trend. I was like, the films I really love are essentially universes. They're worlds. And then, you bring it all the way back to books again. Well, actually, before we go into books, TV, Game of Thrones, wow, what a show. Maybe the best. I have a few TV shows which I really love. Game of Thrones, I think, will just always be number one. And because I love the film so much, my brother got me the books for, I think it was my birthday one year. Literally, I'll try and imagine there's my knee, it's like this tall, like this much literature, this many pages of books. Anyway, I'm on the 4th book now, I absolutely love it. And after getting obsessed with Dune and the Dune universe, I've read the first Dune book. But the point I'm making is the best stories aren't even stories, they're worlds. They're so much more than stories. They are complete worlds. So what I want to talk to you about today is your brand, and why you don't want to build a brand, you want to build a world, like Dune did, like Game of Thrones did, like Harry Potter did, like Saving Private Ryan to some extent. I know it's a factual film, it's based on real events, but they throw you into this world. They created it, recreated it. So Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon as you'll know him, famously said, imagination rules the world. And he was right, because imagination really shapes the world, and it can actually lead you to creating your own world if you want. So think of a show, back to TV, think of a show like Westworld. Not Dan Westworld, the Westworld, the show, right? Season 1 was arguably one of the best standalone seasons of any program, any show that I've watched. It was, for those of you that aren't familiar, it was basically cowboys meets AI in a theme and meets Disneyland. And it was just so well made, great actors, but the world itself was just stunning, just visually, just the concept was just mind-blowing. Just get another shot. That's a beautiful view, isn't it? And look at that. Not bad. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can at least enjoy the view, right? And so I realized, you know, building a world is what it's all about. When you build a world, you have so much more to offer than just you. You're building a whole world for people to step into, whether that's a TV show, whether that's Disneyland, whether that's Apple, and I'll talk about that shortly. But when you build a world, you give people a place to step into. I'm just going to refer to some notes here, by the way, guys. I'm not going to edit this, so if I'm looking down. The key with entering these worlds is this idea of progressing and like getting deeper into the world. Like when I was playing Skyrim, you start off with a character and you gradually get deeper and deeper into the world, you uncover more. The world just keeps expanding as you go. That's the coolest thing. And so when you build a world, you give your clients, your audience, whatever you were talking about, you give them something to keep exploring and keep unlocking. And I think this is just the key to succeeding in 2020, just in the modern world. The best brands, the best creators, they don't have a brand, they have a whole world that you step into. And so I realized that I've been building worlds for as long as I can remember, but definitely when I got into business, I realized world building is the key. I first did it with a project in the Web3 space. We built a whole universe. We called it Sol Andreas, and it was like 6 gangs, and they all had a separate, like each tribe, it was 6 gangs, they all had an individual story behind the gang. There was a whole lore. Lore just means like a deep history that we created around these 6 gangs. And it meant when people came into the world, which we made for free initially, they were given the option to progress further by essentially paying to enter the next level. We added levels and different stages. This progression was the natural path for anyone that was in our world. So naturally, they start thinking, okay, well, if I want to move to the next level and get deeper into this world, I'm happy to pay to keep moving deeper because I'm already on the journey. And it doesn't feel like they're being sold to. They're doing it out of choice in order to go deeper. So you're really leading people deeper into your world. And what this does is it means when you build a world, people ascend themselves. You don't have to sell anything. You just say, hey, if you want to move to the next level, we've got this opportunity. Would you like to step in? Would you like to go deeper into this world? And people ascend themselves. They either say yes or no. It's not like saying, hey, I've got this offer, do you want to buy it? It's like going, hey, we're going here. You're leading them in like the realm of imagination, which is real, into another, deeper into your world, deeper into the world you're creating. So it just keeps unfolding as you keep adding more levels, like a video game. So how do you create a world, right? And are we just limited to fiction? Are we limited to fiction? Well, I believe that how you create a world is through niche obsessions. So your niche obsessions create your world. The world that you live in today, your real world, and also the imaginary world you want to create, because it's going to be made up of all the things that you like. So it's not just fiction, it's real too. It's real too. Think of Disneyland. But we don't have to think of theme parks necessarily. I realized this, so this is a non-business example, but it's a powerful example. And this is why the niche obsession thing is key. So last year, 2025, I basically stepped away. I didn't step away from business. I basically took the year off. That's how I saw it. I took a year off striving in business. I wasn't focused on my business. I was still posting content and working, but I really just focused on one goal. And that one goal was to get as good at surfing as I could. And the reason why I went back to surfing is because I kind of figured out that the reason I moved to Bali in the first place, I'm in Lombok right now, but the reason I moved to Bali in the first place was because I wanted to surf more. But I never committed to it, and sort of taking a bit of time off business or not focus so much on business was the perfect excuse, because I'll be honest, like my money was starting to run a bit lower than usual. I didn't have as much budget. I didn't want to pay for the expensive gyms in Bali because they're like $200 a month. And I had 2 surfboards. So I was like, okay, it's free. The only thing I had to pay for was like 20p for the parking every time I went, so I could park my bike at the beach. But that was it. And yeah, my number one goal wasn't like I want to scale my business or anything. It was I just want to get as good at surfing as I can. And so surfing was really a priority over business. And I started surfing every day, and after a while, my friends started to notice like physical changes in me. Like I wasn't going to the gym, but I was in better shape than ever. And I remember my boy Connor turned around to me, shout out Connor, and he was like, bro, you're getting one of those surfer waistlines. Like your waistline's getting like really like tapered. And then more people started noticing. So this is the key part. This is the key part here. The bikes are really annoying, but screw it. It's really common here in Lombok. They just like put something on the exhaust and it's shit. My friend, my boy, one of my best friends, if he's watching this, hello, Davey. He turned around to me and he said, he was like, oh, you look really good at the moment, bro. You look really healthy. And then he saw me, I was living with him, so I was surfing every day. He saw me going out every single day. Every single day I was going out. Coming back, full of energy, super happy, and tanned and getting leaner every day. And one day he turned around to me and was like, hey, we should go catch some waves, bro. And he won't mind me saying this, but he was a beginner. Davey was a total beginner. But he was interested in learning how to surf. He wanted to get amongst it. He wanted to be a part of it, basically. Whatever I was obsessed with, he was like, that must be worthwhile. So he started surfing, went the first time, he absolutely loved it. And then, because Davey's this kind of character that he has this infectious way about him, he started, and he's a very sociable guy, he started telling all our friends. Next thing you knew, every Saturday we were meeting at this warung, which is like a beach cafe, it's like a beach cafe in Canggu, and every Saturday, like clockwork, we would meet up and we'd surf. And we started a WhatsApp chat. It quickly grew to like 30 members, and before we knew it, this was like a full-blown community it was a full-blown world in itself, with its own kind of rules, with its own kind of laws, just like a universe has laws, right? This surf club had rules. It wasn't Fight Club. We can't talk about Surf Club, although we joked about that. It was more like we meet every Saturday. Like it had a setting. Canggu, the Times Beach Warung, every Saturday. It had rules. We surf every Saturday. We drink coffee. We have croissants. We don't rush to get into the water. I hope this guy isn't going to rev. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit awkward with us here. We chat. There's no rush. There's no stress. It's just coffee, croissants, chats every Saturday, and surfing. And so what we started to do over time is, we just started to invite more people joined, everyone loved it. And that was the crazy thing. Surf Club is a world, because now I'm in Lombok and it's still running in Bali without me. That's the difference between a world and a brand. You know, Surf Club as a brand is kind of cool, but the world exists. Like, let's take God, for example, right? God created the world, but it doesn't rely on God to be here all the time, although he kind of is. For it to run, the creator creates something, and then if they create something truly special, or if they create a world, it runs by itself. They create an ecosystem, basically. That's what a world is. It's an ecosystem. And so Surf Club, like, I don't want to take all the credit, because Davey did a massive, it was really him that made it what it is. But it all started from that niche obsession. I didn't plan anything. I just turned up with my board. I just showed up with my board day in, day out, and people were like, this seems pretty good, because there's tons of run clubs in Bali, but there's no surf clubs. So if you are interested, I don't want to make this as like a self-surf club, but if you are interested in joining that, like, feel free to reach out to me if you're in Bali and you want to surf and you're not an expert level. We've got all levels there, but yeah, we've got a hell of a crew there, you know, and the people really make it. The people who occupy that world really, really make it, you know. We've got all sorts of people. We've got influencers, we've got creators, we've got entrepreneurs, we've got artists, and they all just want to surf because it makes them feel good. But anyway, I don't want a tangent. Surf Club is a world. That is a world that you can build in real life. Just like, you know, Walt Disney. Walt Disney created Disneyland. That is a world. One of the best. Which leads me to my next and one of the final points, right? I want you to think of your brand as a shop front. Your brand is a shop front. Your world is a theme park. Let me explain, okay? So, I've got the idea written down here with a little bit more. Okay, let's take Disneyland. Disneyland, you see the Disney brand everywhere. They put it in films, like their advertising is like innovative as hell, right? Their advertising is the product. But they have Disneyland where you go and visit, right? Well, once you enter Disneyland, you can't get out without buying more stuff, right? You go in for the experience and they hit you with gift centers. They hit you with merch stores, food and beverage, all these optional extras, upgrades, right? So once you enter the world of Disney World, Disneyland, you're continually sold all these other things. So they might make a bit of money on the front end bringing you in, but they could theoretically let you in for free and they would still make massive profit, right? Because you're in Disneyland, you're there, you're like, well, I'm occupying this world now. It's no different from going, you know, if you occupy a village, you're going to go and buy food from the local store. So that's Disney World, that's Disneyland. It's a theme park that is, you're not paying for the theme, they don't make money on the theme park tickets, that's just to keep you in. They make money on all the other things they sell you inside, right? And I'm going somewhere with this, so stick with me. Next you have Apple. Apple are a great example, right? Apple, when you go to an Apple store, it is an experience. Every Apple store is the same. You go in there, you've probably seen it, big window, big open plan. They have a big, massive team of young people, really enthusiastic people that want to help you. Like they're always overstaffed, and that's deliberate. All the details, you know, like the open plan, the suction when you open the iPhone, the graphics, like everything is there deliberately. You're in their world, right? And another thing about Apple is once you're an Apple user, you have to use their tools. You have to use the technology and the hardware that they give you and the software. He's shouting. I'm not going to get upset with it's their country at the end of the day, and I'm here making a video, so just bear with me. You have to use Apple. Once you're an Apple user, you have to use Apple products. So that's a crucial part of this. is once you're in Apple's world, yeah, you go into the store and you experience that, but once you're in their world, you are locked into all of their products, and you're gonna get the next iPhone. You're gonna update your iPhone when it's out next. So you are in their world, and you don't bat an eyelid when they say, hey, you've got to update, hey, we need this new thing, hey, do you wanna upgrade your storage? You just pay it, right? That is what we need to create for you, a world. Because then people occupying that world, it's no different from them occupying a village and going down to the shops and buying, you don't think like, oh God, I'm giving money to Tesco again. You don't think that, unless you're like super left wing and anti capitalism. You think I need to go and get groceries. I'm going to go and pay. That's worth it to me. That's the same thing. Once people are occupying a world with you, they don't feel like they're spending money. Whereas when you don't have a world, they're like, oh, I'm buying this offer, I'm buying this thing, like I feel like I'm being sold to. When they are integrated into your world, it's part of their identity. Key part here. People just keep paying to be part of the world, and they don't think in their brain, oh, I'm paying to be part of this, but that's what's actually happening. Because you can opt out of Apple anytime. You can leave Disneyland whenever you want. But you don't, because you've identified as an Apple user, you've identified as a Disneyland customer, a Disney fan. So, food for thought, and this is why I tell my clients, and I'm going to talk about this in next week's video, hint, hint, teaser, teaser, don't sell a product, sell an identity. Apple sells an identity. Disney sells an identity. You're coming into this magical land, and now you're part of this like mystical world where the laws of physics don't apply, and there's magic, and there's mice that can speak, and Donald Duck and ducks that walk around. This is make-believe, but you're in the world and you get to experience it. Same with Apple. It's actually make-believe that you can only charge your phone with a certain type of charger. But you're in their world. Now you've identified as an Apple user, of course you use Apple chargers. Anyway, I could knock this home, I could knock that point home, I could bang on that drum for absolutely ages, but people spend more money with you when you give them a world because it's part of their identity. They have identified as an occupant of that world. It's like identifying as a human. I'm a human, so I need to drink water. I'm a human, so I need oxygen. I'm a human, so I need to move every day. Some people don't. And then I'm a nomad, so of course I buy plane tickets. I travel. Like it doesn't. You don't even think about spending money. It's like, of course I do. So you need to build a world so people identify with your brand and who you are so much and what you're selling that spending more money with you is just logical because they want to stay in that world. It's like when GTA, or the online version, you get the online version for free. This is the video game. If you want to unlock more levels, you want to do extra shit, you have to pay, and people just pay it because they're like, well, of course, I want to explore more. I want to go deeper into this world. You need to leverage that. And so this brings me to essentially a way that this works. So there needs to. You need layers to your onion, right? So let's now finally knock this home. Let's hit this home with like why you as a creator must build a world and how you can build a world, right? And what I mean by that. So there needs to be another layer to the onion, right? People need to take a step towards you before they can keep spending more money. That's why when I talk about the world, they need to actually enter your world first. Now, I want to talk about a client of mine. So the problem he had, right, is he had this amazing shop front, this brand. He's still getting hundreds of followers a week. He built a massive brand on Twitter, a big brand on Instagram. He's growing on YouTube. He's a creator. He's a coach, right? The problem wasn't but he was like wondering, like, okay, I've got this following that's growing. I've got this strong brand, this strong shop front. It's definitely going to rain, so we've got about 5 minutes max before we have to end this, which will bring us up to about 30 minutes. He was like, well, I've got all these followers, I'm getting all this engagement. Where the fuck are the clients, right? He didn't have the clients. The cognitive dissonance when you have an audience that's growing and the clients and the revenue isn't going up in accordance with it is pretty mad. And the reason why the problem wasn't his content, the problem wasn't his engagement, the problem wasn't anything like that. The problem was depth. And what I mean is he didn't have another layer to the onion. He didn't have a world to bring them in, which is ironic because this guy's so creative. He could have, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But this was the problem. He didn't have a world. So what do? We, after sort of like, basically like trying to figure out the issue and the solution, once we figured out the solution, we built a world for him, a free school community. I'm shilling school here, I should put an affiliate link in there. No, I'm kidding. A free community for people to enter, because the problem is he had all this attention on X and Twitter, but he had no depth. He had no next step for them to take. So it was like having like 1 million people outside your shop front, but no one's coming in the shop. No one's in the theme park. Well, there was no theme park. It's like having basically it's like Disneyland, right? Imagine there's no theme park, but everyone's queuing outside. Like, what have you got for us? He amassed thousands of people, but he didn't have a world to give them. So we're like, okay, it's depth. We need another layer to onion. So we've built this world, right? It's absolutely awesome. Like, it is. He's not building a community. He's building a video game. He's selling them an identity, right? It's called. I don't want to say it because you'll go and check it out. Which wouldn't be a bad thing. That should be cool because it's an amazing place that it's an amazing world that he's building. But yeah, we started building this world. He's already got, I think, over 50 members in there. He launched it 3 days ago, right? And now they're taking a step towards him. He can see in there who's engaging, who's the most interested. Everyone's writing on the community wall. The energy in there is mad. And it means now that people are starting to, that not only are they excited by the idea, they're now actually becoming it's becoming part of their identity. And because there's levels to this world he's building, there's ways to get deeper in it, people just want to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And sure, there's educational content in there. Sure, there's stuff that's going to help them move to the next level. It's in the fitness niche, but you would not know that this offer was a fitness offer when you see this, because it has so much depth. It's so artistic, even just down to the little details, the language that's used, the graphics for each module in the community. People feel like they don't feel like they're being taught anything. They feel like they're moving through a universe. They feel like they're moving through a video game because we've gamified it, which means people are going to ascend themselves. As soon as we say to them, hey, look, we've got offers we want to sell you, but we're going to frame it as this is the next level in the journey, people are going to snap it up. I know because I've done this myself dozens of times, and I know because when we did it with that project, Bad Creature, we made 6 figures. So world building is the key. World building is the key. And here's another thing. Here's the last thing. I'll finish on this, right? One more snapshot of that view. Wow. The strength of your brand is only as strong as the world you build. Most creators are building a brand, but they're not building a world. And they wonder what the problem is. Why am I not getting clients? Why am I not making money? You don't have a world. You need more layers to the onion. You need to make that world incredible. And it needs to be a reflection of you, your niche obsession. So to conclude, that's so official. To wrap this up, first of all, don't build a brand, build a world, right? Don't build a brand, build a world. Imagination rules the world. Your imagination, your world can be whatever you want it to be. It's down to your imagination, your creativity. That's the fun part. You are a creator. God is a creator. He created this world. You need to do the same. Remember that niche obsessions will shape your world, just like Surf Club did for me. Just like my client's world is being shaped by his obsessions. And remember this idea of shop fronts versus theme parks. Your brand, your social media presence, that is a shop front. How are people going to buy from you? And how are people going to keep buying from you? And how are people going to ascend themselves if you don't have a world to bring them into? You need a world. And the strength of your brand and your business and your income is only as strong as the world you're building. So you need to build a world. This is part of my real world right here. So here's what I would say to you right now. If you want to build a world of your own, if you want to leverage the power that you have as a creator to build something people want to be a part of, to sell people an identity so that you can increase your income, so that you can scale past 10K months, 10K per month easily with just 3 hours a day, because you don't need to work that much if you get this right, because the world does a lot of the work for you. Hello, Boule, they're shouting. Hello. That's my cue to end this. Then I highly encourage you to join my Substack, where I share insight stories, I go deeper on this stuff, and you get my ideas first on how to build a world, how to build a 10K per month income. I call it a freedom machine because I don't like the idea of a business. A 10K per month freedom machine with just 3 hours a day. And you want insights on that, you want to learn how I do it. Maybe you want to work with me and you want to explore, maybe you're tempted, maybe you're like, hey, I like this guy's energy. Hey, I like the life he's got. Hey, I like his ideas. Then go join that Substack. I might even put a link down below to work one-to-one with me, closely with me. I'm opening up 2 spots this week for 2 people that want to work one-to-one with me, build their world, build their 10K per month freedom machine with just 3 hours a day, so you can work less, live more, and create to your heart's content, monetize, and turn your art, turn your imagination, turn your ideas, turn your world into revenue. It's pretty cool. So I encourage you to check that out. Like I said, I might put a link down below to work with me directly. You can apply down below. If it's the first time meeting me and you want to learn more, hello, goodbye. I advise that you probably join my Substack. If this is like the 10th time watching my video, you're probably ready to work with me now. And I would encourage you to do so because I'd love to help you get to the next level. And if you believe I can do that, then why not? Hey. Anyway, ciao from Lombok. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.